And I want to now direct these comments to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and to every member in both chambers of Congress. We are 1,800 miles away here in Harford County. We are 1,800 miles away from the southern border, and the American citizens are not safe because of failed immigration policies.
Harford County,
this
Maryland.
is the second time in just 2 years that an innocent Harford County woman has lost her life to a criminal in our country illegally. Let me repeat that. 1,800 miles from the southern border, and this is the second woman in our county to be killed by an illegal alien. Suspects, in both cases, they are suspects from El Salvador with ties to criminal gangs. Should not be happening. Victor Hernandez did not come here to make a better life for himself or for his family. He came here to escape the crime he committed in El Salvador. He came here and murdered Rachel, and God willing, no one else.
All right. So as Trump said, and Trump was, blasted about it, they do not send their best. The people illegally crossing into the United States are not the best. They're murderers, they're robbers, they're rapists. He said it, and he got ridiculed about it.
23-year-old citizen of El Salvador who illegally crossed the border into the United States in February of 2023. We all suspected that perhaps Rachel was not his first victim. And it's my understanding that this suspect, this monster, fled to the United States illegally after committing the brutal murder of a young woman in El Salvador a month early in January of 2023. Once in our country, and likely emboldened by his anonymity, he brutally attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother during a home invasion in March of 2023 in Los Angeles. And as everyone, I believe, is aware, that was our first DNA match linking Rachel's case to the Los Angeles case. It has been a fear of mine that once we identified this suspect, the result would be exactly this.
You can insert any country for the most part, like Donald Trump said, when Mexico insert El Salvador, Venezuela, whatever, they're bringing crime, drugs, rapists, and, murderers, like you said, and maybe a few good people. But when I was looking up today, some of the, I went to the U.S. Customs and Border Control website, and already this is fiscal year 2024. Keep in mind, the federal fiscal year starts October the 1st of the previous year. So already they've had over 10,000 non-citizens, what they call them, non-citizens arrest. In addition to, or some of that breakdown includes, which I don't think this is complete at all, even at this point in time, the homicide, manslaughter, fiscal year 24 year to date. Remember, that starts from October the 1st, 2023. We've had about 20 homicides or murders of Americans by illegal aliens, not non-citizens, not all these other euphemisms that they want to use, or new Americans. These are murderers, and they are slaughtering Americans, just as our resident in the White House is doing all kinds of things that are putting us at risk internationally. We have people in our country that are on our taxpayer dime, that get paid by us, that are undermining us as Americans. They're undermining our safety, our borders, our economy, our families, our children. They are turning upside down the American Constitution, and the people of America better wake up.
Yeah, I mean, the system is not working. And I'm starting to believe that it's not working purposely. And we've seen this administration, the Biden administration, they're just sending people having them through. It took Biden to be to come down in the polls because Trump has been talking about this over and over again. Remember, for him to actually do something finally, he didn't even really do something, but make some type of executive order, and try to, at least pretend that he's doing something with this border. They have failed tremendously. And out of everything that this man probably could be impeached for, I still say, I said this a while ago, I say it again, he should be impeached for failing to uphold the laws for our border.
Right.
He should be impeached for that alone. They should have impeached Mayorkas. This is a blatant offense of our Constitution. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Again, we've talked. I've criticized our Congress, even the Supreme Court over the years that we've been on the show, and I'm going to say this again. We have three layers of our justice system, right? Of our federal government. We have the Supreme Court, we have our Congress / Senate, and we have the presidency. They are three co-equal branches. One of them is going off the hinges. The other two are not supposed to allow it. Okay. We have a Congress who can and should have the right to step in and protect our borders, protect our Constitution from the Supreme Court. I don't understand why they're not doing it. The only thing I can come to is that many of them are complicit in destroying our country.
Well, I can tell you one reason why, because they're globalists. And eventually they want an open border. They want to not only to globalize America and have these open borders, but then they also want to create a voting class where they already have a lot of these different cities where leftists are in charge. They allow illegal aliens to vote in local elections. They want to have that. We already know that the Democrats have tried to federalize our voting system. Do you understand that the only reason why we really don't have total chaos right now with our voting system is because it's not federalized? But if it was federalized and the Democrats took control, they would have anybody voting right now. My dog probably could vote.
He may have already, right?
If he said he was a Democrat, he would.
Again, this is why it's important, not just with President Trump in office. It's important that we call it what they call the down votes or the down ballots. We need people in Congress, and I said it 2 weeks ago. Not that I'm thinking that President Trump is going to be, the end all or the be all. That's not what I'm thinking. That's not what I'm saying either. But he is going to be a bulwark. He can turn some things around. He certainly can put the brakes on a lot of things. And so if we had the right people in Congress, in the Senate, they can also help, even in your states as well. Because our country, we are on a fast track to extinction.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we have to put a stop to it. And as I've said time and time again, it's Marxism. They are full on Marxists now in the Democrat Party. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'll say it again, Marxism equals Satanism. Karl Marx was a Satanist. And if you look up his preaching and his writings and his life, it all leads back to Satan. And so we are, once again, not just fighting a political system. We are not just fighting leftism, Democrats. We are fighting spiritual warfare here. Right. And it leads back to Satan. And we need to put a stop to it. Open your eyes, people. All of you Christians out there who are still voting Democrat, I'd rather you not vote at all. If you feel like you can't stomach voting for Trump, I don't understand how you can stomach voting for a decrepit, degenerate Satanist. I mean, these people don't believe in God. They really don't. They don't believe in God. No, we're not full of lies. I don't know what you're talking about. Anybody with an ear and eyes can see when Biden entered the White House, he revoked and removed all of the protections Trump had for our border. The border exploded once Biden got into the White House. And now he has put out a back call, like almost for everyone saying, come here. It's open border for everybody. You can come in, get in, stay as long as you want.
Right. Someone mentioned about they want full socialism. I understand what you're saying, but we're beyond socialism. The next communism is where we are. We've had socialism when you think of the welfare state and the government coming in. We are past that part. The next step is communism. Socialism is a little bit between capitalism and communism. Ultimately, what these people want, these globalists want, they want full communism.
Absolutely. Not only that, they want your children. In California, they just unveiled a bill to keep gender transitions secret from parents. Do you understand they're trying to take away parental rights at every turn?
Yeah.
School policies that require teachers to hire gender transitions from mother and father. How crazy is that?
It's not crazy when you think of the communist plan, because in communism, children belong to the state, not their parents. That's number one. Number two, this has been going on even more so in the last 5 years, but in the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, there's a case in Montana, and there was a case in New York where the school districts and the social workers in the school, the government workers or whomever, have taken children from their parents, did not inform their parents, and had these children transition, basically, along with California. This was in Montana and New York, Montana no less, right? There are other cases, I think, in either Idaho or Iowa, maybe both, but this is part of the agenda. And this happens most of the time in public schools. Remember, public schools are government schools, taxpayer schools. The government wants our children. They don't want parents in control. They don't want children to be attached to their parents, because parents, by and large, will care for and love their children and will guide them away from the things that the government wants to own them for and own their minds. This is nothing short of diabolical. It is communism.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's public schools. And the reason why specifically here in California that they're trying to pass this bill is because recently parents and teachers that object to this policy of keeping secrets from parents about this gender transition have been winning in the court. They've been winning six-figure settlements against school districts that have adopted this policy position. So this is why they're now trying to pass a bill within the legislature. I think they may have already passed it. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I think they try. I think it's still, but yeah.
Yeah, this is why they're trying to pass it, so they can skirt these legal issues and these settlements. They don't want to pay. But so they're trying to skirt. It's diabolical, like you mentioned. It's diabolical.
Yeah.
Can you imagine to keep secret something like this from a parent?
Yeah, look, we see parents all the time on social media literally showing their asses, right? In all kinds of situations where they shouldn't, but yet I would encourage them to like Tyrone said, link up with other like-minded parents and go and fight your governments in California, your state governments in DC. They don't have the power that they think they have unless we give it to them.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, in 2022, a single mother near Monterey became the first California parent to sue her district for swaying, guess how old? 11-year-old daughter into believing she was a boy. Leaked audio from the California Teachers Association conference captured two of the daughter's teachers discussing how they stalked students' web searches to recruit members for a secret transgender club. The mother landed $100,000 settlement against the district last year.
Yeah.
I know why. I know, but this is the eerie evil. It's this transgender, this gender ideology. This is this issue that they continue to push on and on and on. Why?
Right. Because they are implementing their communist, globalist, if you want, goals. And I was looking at the 45 goals of communists that were introduced in our Congress some years ago, right? A few decades ago. And I saw a few different ones that directly apply to these children being transitioned without their parents' knowledge or consent. And number 16, where you're discrediting the family, you're transferring powers, number 15. So there are many. Number 17, emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents. These goals are in full effect. And this is in America. This is in our country, the United States of America, the land of the free and home of the brave, where children are literally being turned against their parents by our government. Our taxpayer dollars are being used against us.
Absolutely. And not even old institutions and companies and businesses that we used to rely on that we thought were safe are safe anymore. We've talked about this. The Boy Scouts or the Cub Scouts have been ruined with this gender ideology. Now Scholastic's kids. I mean, I as a child remember the Scholastic reading Scholastic books. So they used to hold book fairs in schools. It was Scholastic Books used to do that all the time, every year, the book fair. Well, now they are pushing this gender ideology. So for Pride Month, they're pushing this where LGBT activists have taken the safety away. So the publishing company released its Read with Pride. The Guide Associated website and list of books and resources has the left loves to both unapologetically send parents, educators, and kids towards the most extreme left-wing sources on LGBT ideology. So, I mean, it's a list of stuff here, but everyday feminism, Teen Vogue, Rainbow Book List, all this stuff is now being pushed through the Scholastic. So, you know, they used to send this out with the kids in class, and you go through and you look through the books, and it's all throughout here. Definitions of gay, bisexual, transgender, all in this new Scholastic book thing for the Pride Month.
That's what our children are learning. They can't read, can't write, can't do math, but they can be given this pride agenda. Look at number 2 and number 5 on these communist goals about softening the curriculum and gaining control of the teachers associations. I mean, again, I've said it before, you've said it. Every institution has been infiltrated by leftism, progressivism, communism, whatever you want to call it. Every institution has been infiltrated. And the only way we will gain our control and our rightful power to have it and keep it and get it back is to fight these jokers. We have to.
Yeah, we do. And the thing about it is, I mean, as I mentioned, you know, if you want to be gay, you know, that's fine. But it's gone from an option to a requirement, even with this Scholastic thing. So now they have anyone not queer is positioned as a problem. So they form these narratives, these stories to paint it so if you disagree with this lifestyle, then you are a bigot, you are evil, you are wrong. And when you position it that way to children, what other option do they? It's not even an option really, because they're going to think they're being wrong, they're being non-inclusive. So then they, you know, go along with it. It's
exactly
it's evil, as you mentioned. It is.